Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. For the record, Troy Nichols here today on behalf of the National Shooting Sports Foundation, unfortunately in opposition to House Bill 1705. In spite of the sort of frightening images that are conjured up by use of the term ghost guns, I think it's important for everybody to keep in mind that all firearms all firearms are heavily regulated under current federal and state laws, regardless of how they're manufactured. Americans have always had the ability to legally make firearms on their own and choose to do so as a hobby. This hasn't created a big wave of ghost guns. In fact, most of the firearms referenced throughout this discussion this morning involve criminals, as the previous speaker mentioned, who illegally remove the serial number in order to circumvent existing gun laws. So criminals, by definition, they break the law, and unfortunately, adding more laws on top of Washington State's dozens of existing gun control statutes, many of which have been adopted just in the last 20 years, won't produce the desired effect by the proponents of this bill today. Rather than layering another level of regulation on law-abiding hobbyists and businesses, we would ask legislators to push for consistent and robust enforcement of the existing stringent laws and regulations that are already on the books. A couple of specific concerns with this bill, Mr. Chair. The definitions in Section 3 of an unfinished or frame or receiver and fire control component. Some of this language is a little bit vague, and we're afraid that it could produce some unintended consequences. So we look forward to you, should you choose to move this bill forward, working with you and the co-sponsor on getting that right. We want to be an active participation in the conversation. And then finally, I would just point out that the Biden administration's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, they're currently undergoing rulemaking, and they're reaching out to licensed dealers and gunsmiths to just get some sort of idea of how many of these parts are out there and how quickly they could be serialized and brought under federal regulation. So that's currently ongoing. We look forward to seeing the outcome of that. And with that, I'd be happy to answer questions. Thank you.